One, two, three, go! Sorry for my absence, as it were. I've been, damn you, Square Enix, damn you. That's all I have to say. It's a upcoming review, as it were, and it's taking an ample amount of time. So, right now I'm gonna do a response, or a follow-up, piece to, Death God Storm, Steve's comments on cartoons and the heyday of cartoons and what they used to be and what they used to meant, and they were actually worth something. Now, my topic on cartoons is a different angle on his. Mine is that of censorship, and censorship in media, or the cartoon media for children. And the first time I was ever exposed to censorship was, I was watching CTV, I think, with my sister, and we were watching Millennium. And Millennium, if you didn't know, back in the day was a kind of a X-Files-esque show with supernatural and kind of science fiction elements to it, and it had what's his name? Hendrickson. I remember his last name was Hendrickson. I can't remember, but if you've seen him, he's a character actor. He's been in things like Pumpkinhead and Man's Best Friend and Aliens. He has a very recognizable face. He was in Alien vs. Predator. He played the rich guy in that. But I know his last name's Hendrickson. But in this film, TV show, blah, I'm a little rusty. Forgive me. In this, it was that of this guy, this businessman, very yuppie-looking suit and suitcase type of guy, walks into a strip bar, and this whole theme episode is kind of like demons fucking with people. And there's one thing that he kind of loses it. He keeps on seeing this baby demon around, and he's going crazy, and so he goes to the strip bar. He totally acts out of his character and out of his comfort zone, so he goes to a strip bar, and there's a girl there stripping. And it's not one of those kind of just bikini, like they're not nude at all kind of strip bars you always see in CSI, you know, every time they enter a strip bar, like everyone has clothes on, like no nipples, no snatches, just, you know. But in here they actually, like, she took off her top, she was dancing on a table, and they blurred out her breasts, her nipples, and I can't remember what kind of blur it was. I think it was just like the black bar, you know, not that pixelated or other things they do. And I was like, well, that's strange. I was taken aback by that. I was maybe 6 or even younger. And I said to my sister why they did that, and she told me that some people are just not comfortable with being nude or seeing nude people on TV or in public. And that kind of struck me kind of odd. It'd say like you know it's there. Why censor it? But now with cartoons, the first censorship of cartoons, I probably didn't realize I was just watching normal cartoons, you know? And this probably has to do with violence and sex references and everything kind of taboo for little kids, supposedly. And I remember in Looney Tunes, they got away with a lot of stuff. I remember one specific moment while Sylvester, the cat, is fishing, and the fish doesn't want to go on the hook, so the fish climbs up on the string, gets off the pole, and Sylvester pulls out a revolver, a real-looking weapon, and he's pointing it, gesturing it to get on the hook, and that just kind of stick with my mind because you couldn't get away with that nowadays. Like, that's only on like Teletoon Retro. I saw that on lately. Excuse me, I got a little something in my throat. Take a sip of coffee. Anyway, and that kind of struck me. You don't see stuff like that anymore. You don't see, I don't know, with the culture that's most lenient with censorship is probably Japanese anime, such with Dragon Ball and other things they get with nudity. I remember watching like a year ago, just watching the whole series straight through of Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam, the first series, you know, 78 to 80, I think it was 2 seasons. Well, anyway, I remember there was like a nudity part in there, and like they didn't blur it all out, and there's minor swearing like bastard and bitch and stuff like that, but nothing really offsetting. I remember when Inuyasha came to Canada to YTV, it put like a little sensory violence, make date violence in crude language, and like all he actually said was bastard, bastard, bastard. That was about it, and nothing else but pure filler. That whole fucking show was just fucking waste of my time. Girls like that pointless shit anyway. Off topic. Other things, censorship, I kind of got later on in life. When I got a teenager, I became more interested in it. I looked up things on like Toonami, or not Toonami, but with other things to do with censorship, like with Dragon Ball, like they took out all alcohol, all sexual references. Like I remember Master Roshi, he had a glass, right? This big bug is like foaming, and like it was blue. It looked like they just plastered blue over it to make it look like water, because blue equals water in cartoons. But in the original unedited, uncut, it's just beer, or a brown glass. It's maybe beer, like so. It's beer. I got nothing problem beer or alcohol whatsoever. I got no problem with alcohol whatsoever. Like alcoholism, not a disease. I got no problem with alcohol. I just got people who can't control their alcohol intake. But other things, they took up like the extreme violence, like the blood, the gore, where like Piccolo's special beam cannon goes through Goku. They took that out. They took out the blood. They took out like the whole flashback part when Goku goes through King Piccolo and tears him through a hole. But they filled that out. Just like, I find this as truly insulting, and it is defiling art. I think it is. I think it is censoring art, and art shouldn't be censored. It's their expression of their storytelling, and if it's censored, it's tampered with, and I just find that's a giant insult toward the creator. And I think kids can't handle this stuff. Lately, I've been watching not Dragon Ball, but I got Dragon Ball Season 1 for my nephew, and he loves it. He loves it. He thinks it's hilarious. And it's like, he's got no problem with it, He hasn't been emotionally scarred. It's like, I don't shelter him at all, He's a big, tough little man. We're watching the first season of Digimon. We're almost done. We're on like episode 44, and there's been smoking references and pop culture references, and it's not violent. It's actiony. What violent is? Violence is the action of violate, like tearing out guts and viscera and blood and guts. That's why stupid parents back in the 90s were saying like, can't watch Power Rangers because it's violent. It's not violent. It's actiony. Power Rangers is a great starter for kids to like get into kung fu movies, I find, and it's good for them. It's like, exercise is part of the brain. As a human, we're naturally violent, or not naturally violent. We're actually naturally aggressive. I won't put it, not naturally violent, but aggressive. And it's just the censorship, I think, is complete bullshit. And to take a line from Clockwork Orange, censorship is blindness. And I think it is a big detriment to an artist's work and things. I'm kind of rambling on here, but it's just like a little kind of brain fart of a video, or a kind of things, kind of a partner thing for Steve. It's just things like this just piss me off. I'm a big fan of not censorship and all that, but please leave a comment. And what do you think? What was the biggest kind of censorship thing was probably in the Spider-Man cartoon, where Spider-Man couldn't punch anyone or do anything, no realistic weapons, no blood, no mention of blood, death, die, or killing, or other kind of shows that were just really just bogged down, stupid, like talking down to kids and making them seem like idiots, or treating them like idiots, which is like, if you make the shows dumber, society's going to get dumber, and we're going to get used to this new status quo of stupidity. That's all I had really to say. If I'll think anything up, I'll post another video. And don't worry, I'm not gone. I'm just working. Air quotes, working. You'll probably get a movie review soon, and some other things. Maybe a book or two. Okay? May the force of evil become confused on your way to your house. Bye.